Please be seated. In the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 17, the Lord talks about an alien king, Pharaoh. Not only the people of Israel, to an alien king he says, "Hello, my dear, do you know why God has raised you as a king? Because He wants, who wants? God wants His power to be manifested in the world, and He found you, the man in the scene." That's why in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 onwards, the Lord speaks about a king a ruler called Cyrus. "Hello, Cyrus, you do not know me, but I tell you, God has raised you in this time for His mission." Yes, God raises up every man, every woman for Himself, not for you and me. That's why in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 1, it is written, "Hello, my dear, be aware that you are a stone, but be aware from which mountain you are hewed, you are taken out. You are part of a particular mountain, and God has taken you from that mountain for His purpose." That's why in the book of Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 6, the Lord taught Jeremiah that you are like the clay in the hands of the potter. God called your God. Like the clay in the hands of the potter. Hello, my dear, you are in the hands of God, to be used by God, to be molded by God for the purpose of God. Your life is not about you. Your life is not about building up your career. Your life is not even about your family. God gives varieties of responsibility, and He will provide you everything that is needed to fulfill those responsibilities. Your life is beyond responsibilities of the world. You have a higher goal, higher call. God, who is source of life, who gives life to everybody, calls man and says, He blesses him and breathes His breath into him and says, "Multiply, fill this earth, be fruitful, and bless this world." That's why in 1 John chapter 5 verse 4 it is written, everything that comes from God gives life. Everything that comes from God conquers the world. Everything that comes from God manifests the power of God. And you and I are created by the image of God. In the image of God, we are created with the breath of God, that we are carrying the presence of God in us, that we will focus ourselves on the divine aspect of the human in us. We are human beings. We have a physical body, but we belong to the Holy Spirit, Heavenly Spirit. We carry His breath in us. Where we are going to focus, that will become our life. You focus on your What you have got in the world, it's not going to be your life. Or you are going to focus on the Spirit of God who is actively working in you. He is leading you. Be conscious of the Lord at work in you. I love this beautiful book called the Book of Esther. We know Esther was an orphan girl. And this orphan girl was brought up by her uncle called Mordecai. And the king's wife, because of her proud nature, was thrown away from the kingdom. And the king wanted a suitable girl to be his wife, to be the queen of the nation. So every rich people, everyone, the most so-called the beautiful body people, they thought beauty means physical. Attraction means physical. They are stupid people. And they die with that physical nature. Those who are spending their time and energy in building up their physical power in the world, physical position in the world, physical bodies, need of the world, their physical need, they die with that. Blessed is the man who is conscious that I also carry the divine in me. I have come from the divine. I carry the power of divine in me. And they develop that divine and they live by the divine's power. That's why Jesus said in John 3:6, that which is born of the flesh will produce the things of the flesh. That which is born of the Spirit will produce the life of the Spirit. Yes. It's up to man. What do you see? Esther, an orphan girl. While everyone was decorating their body with all the scents and all kinds of powders, their hair, their face, their nails, putting all the colors, whatever may be. And they are all ready that the king will look at me and I will be the most attractive to him. But there comes Mordecai, a man of the Spirit, who tells Esther, pray to God, live a neat life, clean life, and whatever God has given you, the powder, the oil, in my home, I'm not a millionaire, I'm an ordinary man, I'm a watchman, and I have a salary, I have my family, I have kept you. Now an opportunity, use whatever is in my home, the best I have, and you to prepare yourself. Call upon the Lord, to whom you belong to, and He will give you success. Because as we read in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1, it says, the life of the king is in the hands of God. Like the river moves, it is God who directs the lives of every human person. And I love to read for you one more quotation. Psalm 37, verse 23 to 24. It says, the steps of a man are made firm by the Lord. Everyone can walk. Some can walk like a catwalk, they call it. Some can walk with high heels to show themselves. Some can walk even without chappals. Some, they think life means walking on the fire is a contribution, the achievement. No. Blessed is the man who is built by the Spirit, and his steps are made firm by the Lord. The man delights, enjoys God's ways. Though he falls, he will not be hurt, for the Lord supports him with his hand, because he delights in the Lord, he is conscious of the Lord, he celebrates his life in the Lord, he focuses his life as something come from God to do God's work on this earth. I am not sent to build up my life, my work. God is, my life is not about myself. If you get this truth, your life is saved. The more you are concerned and moving around yourself, you will never understand the purpose of God for you. You will ask a wrong question, self-oriented question. Who am I? Why these things are happening? How will I come up in life? To show off yourself. Some smoke cigarette like this, some put like this and smoke. And they think they become superstars. They think that we can have thousands of slippers. Every day one each I will show off myself. And one day you are just gone. Somebody carries it away. Foolish man. And they die in their filth and in their sin. And hell is waiting for them. Hell is waiting for them. Satan is waiting for them. He or she, in their lifetime, if they have not glorified God, if they have not lived for God, lived for the mission for which they are sent into the world, they have to pay the higher price. Now the king comes. He saw every woman. And when he saw Esther, the heaven pulled. The heavenly presence in her activated the heavenly presence in that man. He chose her. Now, Esther has become the queen. There was a man called Haman who wanted to destroy the Jews. And he has made the rule, the king has already put his sign, nobody can change. On a particular day, all the Jews are going to be killed. Esther was told by this great man called Mordecai, her uncle, in Esther chapter 12, verse 12 onwards. It's a beautiful chapter. He says, hello my dear, don't think that because you are a queen, you will be saved and all the Jews will be killed. Verse 14, maybe this is God's plan to save the Jews through you. That's why God has placed you a queen here. Wherever God is leading you, God has a mission. Maybe suddenly you have to go somewhere else. You don't want. You got a lot of problems. But there is a mission. God will never, the grace of God will never take you where the hand of God will not lead you. The grace of God will never take you where He has no mission for you. Yes. Esther was told, you are God's daughter. You are made queen to fulfill God's work, not your work. You are a queen, you are safe, don't think. Her eyes were opened. And we read in that beautiful chapter, she took the pain and went to meet the king. The king was angry because he is not supposed to come on that time. But God changed his anger into kindness. When you move with God's ministry, there will be many obstacles, but God will take care of you. God will provide you. God will honor you. The three friends of Daniel were about to be thrown into the fire. You know what the three friends of Daniel said? It's up to our God. God allows so many of His saints to die with sickness. Dying in sickness is not because of your sin. Need not be. Teresa, child Jesus, was hardly 24. She passed away with cancer. But she's an inspiring woman for many. It is up to God. Today morning I was talking to Doris, my daughter. I was telling her, daughter, do you know how Muttangi was built? Before Muttangi was built, two of people who stood for me as right and left, especially those who are interceding. First Sandhya, Ignatius went, then Brother Prakash from Pirangipuram was like a right hand for me. Hardly he was 25. He was killed in an accident waiting to come to Guntur in a train accident. He was thrown into the pit. I cried, but I knew that after his death, Muttangi started to grow. He went to heaven to intercede. Don't try to blame or try to find out answers by physical thing of the world or people. God has His own way. I told Doris in the morning, we were struggling in Warangal. We are going through many struggles. We were spending lakhs of rupees unnecessarily. And suddenly, God takes a wonderful man who was loved by all of us. Suddenly, Brother Jesu dies. I have seen him. Maybe he's a weak man in some areas, but he was an intercessor. He's a hard-working man, a committed man. He will spend in front of the Blessed Sacrament hours and hours. That's when God took him away. He was a deacon, desiring to be ordained. God took him. Within a month, what we could not do it for many years, or just to broke, we were released. I strongly believe, like Prakash, who interceded for Muttangi and interceding for us today also. Brother Jesu, though a young man died, raising up many questions why he died, how he died, how did God allow that? He waited to become priest for many years. And he became deacon also. How can God do? Sorry, you can't understand the plan of God. Those who are moving with God, they can tell you there is something beautiful thing God does out of the pain and suffering of people. Your suffering is not a guarantee that you are punished for your sin. No! Everything moves according to the plan of God. God has His ways which are beautiful, which cannot be understood by us, the human beings, with our limited thoughts, limited ways. Yes. Esther. So many people. We can go on telling the Bible. We can go on narrate in our lives. Life is not about us. You and I are not here to achieve something in the world. We are here to be in the hands of God and to allow Him to use us as He desires. This is life. This is our call. Our life is not about ourselves. Our life is not about reaching something or possessing something or achieving something. No. Our life is to be in the hands of God and to allow Him to use us for His ministry. Mother Mary was used for God. You can agitate, I am not a thing to be used. Okay. Live for yourself and die for yourself. Because that is not the purpose for which you are called. As mother said yes to the Lord, in the young age she has to lose her husband. It's not a joke. She's hardly growing and the son says, bye-bye mother, I am busy with my father's business. When I was 12 itself, I told you, I will be busy in my father's business, don't you know? When I was a small boy, Simon told you that a sword will pierce your heart, don't you? Goodbye, bye-bye. She moved on to meet her son carrying the cross as a criminal, carrying the crown of thorns. Being a mother, she can't go near. Having the clothes, she can't wipe the face of her son. Having the strength, she can't carry his cross. You have, but you are not able to do anything. This is physical nature of the person. But the spirit of Mother Mary told, move with your son. Move with God. Move with God's plan. She moved with God's plan. Whatever I can. When my son says, okay, go. When God takes away the husband, go. I will do whatever. I am here for God to give everything of myself. People say your son is carrying the cross. Yes, I will go. People will make fun of you that you are the mother of the criminal. I care nothing. I care least about human beings. I am not here to please the world. I am not here to please any human being. I am sent with a mission. She went. I will do what God wants me to do. She stood with her son. The son died. Now I am already old. My husband is gone. My son is gone. Let me go to my cousins or somewhere I can relax. and go to heaven. This is my fate. No! Till my end of my breath, I will do His will. What have I lost in the world is not the matter. What do I have for my God is all that matters. Maybe I lost my husband, I lost my son. I can be with His disciples. I can give life to somebody. I can make them to pray. I can bring them together. I can be an instrument of unity. I may not earn. I don't have the capacity to do many things, but I have the capacity to be in the hands of God. I have the capacity to continue the mission of God wherever I am. Mother Mary gave herself till the end, and she was raised up to be the Queen of heaven. Today, as we celebrate her feast, God is calling each one of us, be aware that your identity and your life, your progress is depending on two things: who you are in the Lord, and the ministry and the mission of God to which you are called to join. You don't have a ministry for yourself. You don't have a work for yourself. You are not here to promote yourself. You are here to join with God and allow yourself to be in the hands of God to fulfill God's ministry, God's purpose in your life. That's why Colossians 1:16 is written, we are designed by God and for God's work. We are designed by God and for God. The earlier you come to realize the truth, it is easier to make your life beautiful. The moment you realize that your life is not about yourself, maybe you are going through pain, maybe you are going through humiliation, maybe you are going through struggle, it's okay. This all will come to an end. Amidst all this, what is the plan of God for me? What does God want me to do? Why am I here? Why am I here? I'm here for my God. Close your eyes and pray to the Lord for this grace. The Holy Spirit, Jesus says, is given to those who obey my word, who live my word, who live the life I give it to you. And then I and the Spirit will come and abide in you.
అనారోగ్యంతో బాధపడుతున్నారా? కుటుంబ సమస్యలతో వేదన పడుతున్నారా? ఆర్థిక ఇబ్బందులతో సతమతమవుతున్నారా? మీ జీవితంలో ఎన్నో శ్రమలను అనుభవిస్తున్నారా? దురాత్మ చేతబడి శక్తులతో పీడింపబడుతున్నారా? ఆధ్యాత్మికంగా ఎదగాలని, పరిశుద్ధాత్మతో నింపబడాలని ఆశపడుతున్నారా? అయితే రండి, మన పరిశుద్ధాత్మ కేంద్రం నందు దేవుని నిండైన దీవెనలు పొందండి.